folks, Rob Daniels here from the movie, TV, and video game soundtrack program Visions in Sound. I can be found every Saturday morning, 12 to 2 a.m. on Mix 98.5 in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. And if you miss the show, which, hey, does happen, you can also find me on my own website, visionsinsound.ca. Well, here we are, week 43, and I've got a really cool one for you this week. I don't know if you're familiar with the author Terry Pratchett. He did a series of books called The Discworld. And one of the books got made into a animated miniseries. And this was in 1997. I didn't end up seeing it until maybe the early 2000s. But essentially it's called Soul Music, and if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out, as it's clever. It encapsulates essentially the history of rock and roll, but it does it in a very interesting and fun way. Now, Terry Pratchett's Discworld, of course. Discworld is, or Terry Pratchett is very much in the vein of Douglas Adams and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and that kind of humor. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it is definitely gives you a chuckle and that sort of thing. So now we're talking soul music. And by the way, Discworld is very interesting, as it is a world that sits upon 4 elephants that are riding on the back of a cosmic turtle. Yeah. Pretty weird stuff, and I find it immensely charming in all of this. But yeah, it's soul music. Look who I got joined by. This is Gimli. He's the show cat. He's been with me for 18 of the 25 years of Visions in Sound, which, by the way, will be having its 25th anniversary officially on June 7th, 2025. Sorry if I made an allusion to this date and never explained why it was important. Yes, it's the 25th anniversary of the show. So that's what we've got. So yeah, talking about soul music. And soul music, as I mentioned, encapsulates the history of rock and roll, but it does it in such a way that it has fun with it. And while the animation isn't the best in the entire world, it's the humor. It's the odd juxtaposition. There are 2 stories in this. There's the story of a character who eventually ends up being named Buddy, and I'll get to the brilliance of his name in just a bit. But it also deals with death, and death has become disillusioned and is having trouble finding purpose, I guess, in his life. And that's shown, at least at the start here.
Excuse me.
Yes, my son?
I'm told you know everything.
Are you seeking the secret of existence?
That will do for a start.
The secret of existence is to disdain earthly ties, shun the illusion of material worth, and seek oneness with the infinite.
Oh, I've seen the infinite. It's nothing special.
Don't be daft. You can't see the infinite. It's infinite.
I have.
All right, then. What did it look like?
It's blue.
It's black.
It's blue.
It's black.
From the outside, it's blue. Believe me.
Look, my son, what exactly is it that you want? I haven't got all day.
Why do things have to be the way they are? You don't know, do you?
Not exactly. The whole thing is meant to be a mystery, see?
Oh, then I will ask you a simpler question. How do humans forget?
Forget what?
Anything. I remember everything. Do you understand?
Well, Traditionally, the ways of forgetting include drinking the waters of some magical river or other, joining the Clutchian Foreign Legion, or imbibing vast amounts of alcohol.
Ah, yes.
But alcohol debilitates the body and is a poison to the soul.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah, Death essentially takes a holiday and wants to go find himself. So in the meantime, they tap on his granddaughter, and she does not like doing the whole death thing, and she wants to get her grandfather back to bring him back to doing his job. So there's that. So while this history of rock and roll is going on, you've got this side story with Death in that as well. The Death stuff is funny, but the music stuff is very clever. And like I said, it encapsulates the history of rock and roll. And it starts off very simply with probably one of my favorite and biggest earworms on this entire soundtrack. And by the way, the composers here are Keith Hopwood and Phil Bush. So for those that aren't aware, Keith Hopwood did background vocals and some instrumentation for Herman's Hermits and worked a lot with Peter Noone. Phil Bush is a record producer and composer of his own right. So these guys worked together and put together some of the best, and I would go so far as to say these are the best encapsulations of the different eras of rock music that I've ever heard. I mean, of course, you've heard of, like, you know, the eras of early rock music, kind of like the Beatles, where you've got That Thing You Do or the Ruttles. Well, this takes it one step further and does some really cool things with it. So with that in mind, have a listen. This is probably one of my favorite particular cues off of this first thing. I'll play you the Discworld theme, a little bit of it, and then I'll play you probably, again, one of my favorite tracks off of here. It's called Gathering Rhubarb. It's very catchy, so I'll leave it at that. Here we go.
When spring has returned and the trees are in bud, it's time for the gathering, so down to the wood. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. On dark lonely nights, when a cruel wind has blown, with a rhubarb companion you're never alone. Rhubarb in crumble, rhubarb in pie, or a strudel will do till you transmogrify. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. Gathering rhubarb, 'tis a harvest of bliss. Oh rhubarb, she's the best on the disc. 'Tis a well-known appendage of a fresh juicy tart that'll rise with a chortle and leave with a fart. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. Gathering rhubarb, 'tis a harvest of bliss. Oh rhubarb, she's the best on the disc. tender pink stems, so firm to the touch, can bring so much happiness when firm in your clutch. 'Tis a friend of young maidens, 'tis a friend of all crones. With a rhubarb companion, they're never alone. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. Gathering rhubarb, 'tis a harvest of bliss. Oh rhubarb, she's the best on the disc.
What a it's so catchy, so catchy. I love it. So then there's this whole again, now that they get popular, and all of a sudden he needs to change, the main character needs to change his name, and I think it's done very cleverly. And what I'll do is I will simply say, here.
No, Inverkelin. It's not right for this music.
Well, what does it mean in real language?
Akelin. It's an ancient name. It means of the holly.
And imp?
It just means small shoot. You know, like a bud.
Bud Ikelin?
Buddy. Yeah. I like that.
I think that's hugely clever, the way they did that. And these are not just one-time jokes. These jokes pop up fairly often throughout the entire thing. In fact, their first big gig is at the Cavern, which is this huge place. Anyway, it's a whole. They go through the Buddy Holly era, the Beatles era, and you can all hear this in the songs that are portrayed here. Have a listen.
Well, kick off your shoes, I'm breaking the news. You know your daddy won't like tonight. But I know I can tell, just like a ring in the bell, there's a big moon shining bright. Everything's gonna be alright. Break all the rules, they only made for fools. Mama, you and me seeing the light. Oh, honey, you're so sweet, I can't stop on my feet. Now there's a big moon shining bright. Everything's gonna be alright. Get on the floor for the big revival. Tell all the world about a new arrival. Feel the drum, you're a long time gone. There's a big moon shining bright. Everything's gonna be alright. Call up the man who can carry the can, 'cause it's all down in black and white.
Now, in all of this, Death is trying to, again, figure things out. And, but you have, again, a very interesting take on the Beatles this time.
You know the girl has made her mind up. She told me you're the only one. I realize the game is over. I'm the loser now when all is said and done. Ooh, you should be glad you won the day. I got the message loud and clear. Oh, tomorrow brings another day, yeah. And you know I won't be shedding any tears. She won't change her mind, so I think I'll bide my time. Now I know she can't be mine. I've got no need to stay, I'm on my way. Goodbye. For every lonely heart that's broken, there's another catching fire. I'll find another in the long run, but I know this road's at an end. So I'll just put it all behind me. Yeah, it's over now, on that you can depend. She won't change her mind, so I think I'll bide my time. Now I know she can't be mine. I've got no need to stay, I'm on my way. Goodbye.
Again, another one of my favorites off of this album, which is available on Pluto Records, I believe is what it's called. It's the Pluto Yeah. Pluto Records. At least that's the that's where the soundtrack comes from. So yeah. But I got another one here. It's called The Touchstone. And again, it encapsulates all of those tropes that you hear. It even goes so far as to do a Knights in White satin kind of take. And have a listen here.
Slipped down behind the shadow of the mountain. A giant wave of sound drew us towards the source of her power. The darkness was frightening, but something seemed to guide our steps through the blackness. By the time of the meridian, we had discovered the secret of her ascendance, and we knew we were in the presence of the touchstone. So then you get into what is essentially the Jimi Hendrix portion of the evening, and there's that. Fantastic soundtrack.
if you haven't seen it, it is the series is available on YouTube to watch. It's a fun series. It's crudely animated, but then of course that was the back in 97, and it was early CGI, that kind of thing. So it's interesting. And having the voice of Christopher Lee as Death doesn't hurt matters in any case. So yeah, soul music. Like I said, if you haven't heard it, get out there and see if you can find it. The music, like I said, is available on YouTube, so if you want to check it out. So there's that. So with that in mind, if you're interested in any of the film, television, or video game music that I do play on my show, you can tune in every week, 12 to 2 a.m. on Mix 98.5. That's every Saturday morning. I also have my website, which is visionsinsound.ca. I'm on Blue Sky these days, and that is at visionsinsound.bsky.social. I can also be found on GoodPods, a downloadable app for your phone or other type devices, and I can be found on many other podcatchers out there, including the likes of Apple Music. So, Gimli, what do we usually say at this time? Pretty talkative before, and you're not talking now. In any case, like, share, and subscribe, and get out there and listen to fantastic scores, unusual scores. If you can seek out soul music, check it out. It's definitely worth it. And have yourself a great day. But at the same time, we know we're going through tough times right now. And I want you to know that there are people out there who are willing to help you. If you're having real problems, please call 911 for immediate help. In Canada, you can call or dial 988 for the suicide helpline. There's also 1-844-HERE247 and HERE247.ca. They all offer ways of getting help if you or someone you know is suffering from mental health issues. So as I said, get out there and enjoy unusual, fantastic, marvelous soundtracks, not necessarily scores either. There are some really great music. There's some really great songs and stuff out there as well. So as I said, have yourself a great day, Gimli. You too. Love you, you silly guy. Have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
When spring has returned and the trees are in bud, it's time for the gathering, so down to the wood. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. On dark lonely nights, when a cruel wind has blown, with a rhubarb companion you're never alone. Rhubarb in crumble, rhubarb in pies, or a strudel will do till you transmogrify. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. Gathering rhubarb, 'tis a harvest of bliss. Oh rhubarb, she's the best on the disc. She's a well-known appendage of a fresh juicy tart that'll rise with a chortle and leave with a fart. Gathering rhubarb from field and from hill, we'll be gathering rhubarb till we've had our fill. Gathering rhubarb, 'tis a harvest of